All right, pre-recorded session for Sun Drops. We're going to be taking a look at your code. Get everything pulled up here, including your form. Thank you.
Ready for battle.
Oh, looking like some Hanzo. Is this Hanzo all the way through? Yeah. Nice. Okay, so some Hanzo. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Hanzo with you before. I forgot all the Hollywood stuff that we did. But yeah, what do you have got the session? I'm looking to continue my quest of getting better at Overwatch. I'm not sure which heroes I'll be playing, but hopefully it'll be the same one because it's Hanzo. Okay. Looks like gold Hanzo. Mostly Hanzo. Trying to figure out what my second DPS is going to be. I think May or Torb, since they both have similar aim styles. Sojourner is also another option. 5 games are ranked a day on average every day of the week. Short-term goals are to improve my ability usage, positioning, cover, aiming, crosshair, and ult tracking. It's mostly focusing on aim and positioning, a little bit of ability use with sonic arrows. I wouldn't worry as much about ult tracking outside of like surface level stuff at your rank right now. At least at the time you're saying you're here gold here, so I don't think ult tracking is the most important thing. What do you feel is holding back from improving? I've had a weak mental in the past. I was worried more about what everyone else was doing wrong than what I was doing wrong. It's been a process, but that has drastically changed. Now that I have a plan in place for something to work on each game, I'm no longer as focused on other people's mistakes. I'm worried about me though, and that has drastically helped my tilt as well. Awesome. Okay, good. Okay, well we've gone over your Hanzo before, so nothing's super crazy, but this one will be a little bit more in depth. Wait, how in depth was the last one? Yeah, last one was just a replay review, so maybe something a little bit more in detail here. So let's take a look at your Hanzo here. I remember last time we talked a lot about pre-sonic habit, crosshair placement, better cover usage. Taking different angles. The big one was the cover usage and the pre-sonic, I think. Those were like, the pre-sonic wasn't like a major problem, but it was something that was happening so frequently that it's worth breaking that habit right now. And then the cover usage was a major problem because it was not only happening frequently, but it was having a significant impact on the quality of your contribution. So we'll take a look at this really quick. Looks like we got off to a hot start here. I'm hearing the dink sound before I even start the VOD review. Amari, no. Why is she so fussy? Has she had lunch yet?
No, I shouldn't eat lunch yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even time yet. Okay, so let's take some Hanzo. Let's take a look. So this is a little bit ambitious of a positioning. Like you always want to be taking an angle around where your team is fighting, and most teams are going to be taking a fight around this choke here. And even if you're not, even if your team is pushed up to here, then that's fine, but your team isn't pushed up to here, so you got to be really careful because there is really no easy way to rotate back to cover in safety, right? So like you need to be really careful here. I would recommend generally starting on some side of this here. I think doing what you just did there is fine with sonic advantage, and then you can always rotate to over here. I think once the fight kind of breaks out around this choke, Hanzo is really good about taking using the verticality of this side, short sightlines, medium sightlines. So yeah, I think this is just a little bit silly. Because even if you don't get dove, you can still get spammed there. So it's just a good general rule to take an angle around where your team is positioned. One thing I will say with your aim right now is it's not looking amazing with targets are moving. If you aren't already warming up before your session, maybe this is something that you're already doing, but I would definitely be spending at least 5 or 10 minutes. I'd play an entire custom game, a deathmatch, or at least 5 or 10 minutes in Baxter, one or the other. And I also say that right now, that you're playing too close here. I know it's like, well, it's making it easier to hit my shots. That may or may not be true. I would prefer for you to try to take an angle along where your soldier is, just to create, because remember, you don't have any cover where you are right now. So the thing with cover that's really tricky is a lot of the times we find ourselves building cover habits on specific maps, but then if we go into a new map or a map that we don't have as much experience with, that cover like habit not resets, but it's like because we don't have the practice of playing around cover on this map, we don't do it. I find personally that I have a much easier time playing cover when I kind of have an idea of where I want to play, and maybe you don't know where that is on this map yet. Maybe you don't have the reps to practice on this yet. So what I would recommend is every game or every map that you're unfamiliar on, I would always try to prioritize your positioning first over things like your cooldown usage and sonic usage, just because that's going to kind of get you set up properly, and that's the most important thing. So obviously mechanics, I think a little bit goofy right here. Like even body shots here need to be landing, But I do think that your positioning could also be a little bit better in terms of both your safety and your cover as well. And by safety, I mean, sorry, the distance management, right? A little close. Maybe you're looking to cut off Widow Silence. I'm not sure. Nice shot. Good use of your Storm Arrow. That's a good shot. But see, I would retake high ground here. Don't re-peek this without Sonic advantage. Retake high ground, charge an arrow, and peek her like here, or peek her like here. So not only do you have better cover, a better sight line, but you also have shifted up her crosshair placement to where she's positioning here. She is not positioning her crosshair above that fence. So like whenever you're in a sniper duel, the number one way to create an advantage, whether it's Hanzo versus Widow, Ashe versus Ashe, Widow versus Widow, no exceptions, is to make them move their crosshair, but you know where they are, so you already have your pre-aim crosshair. Does that kind of make sense? Like she has her crosshair here, so this is a 50-50 duel, I would say. But don't. I mean, maybe actually she might have a slight advantage here, but you don't want that. You want to always make her move her crosshair a little bit, right? Right, case in point, like that's a perfect example. Like she's already pre-scoped, pre-aimed, right? So why would you fight like that? Why not take a different angle, wall climb, something that she can't do, make her move her crosshair, and that makes it really hard for her. Okay. They're gonna go Orisa. Team will likely hold. It's a good Sonic. It's a shame that doesn't catch her, but you had the right idea. Again, it's just another the same mistake, right? It's a little bit of disrespect to that Widowmaker to where she sees you, if not now, definitely now. And so she's already, look at this, who has the advantage here, right? She's already pre-aimed there. So if you wanted to peek this Widow again, which I actually think it's worth doing at this point, you might as well. You have a kind of an advantage at this range, but don't do this. Instead, jump and release here, or you can even bait the shot. You know, actually, that's a good question. Do you lose the charged shot now? I guess you do. But yeah, the main takeaway here is, again, like this is another situation where you're poking at or pre-aiming or firing on the same sight line where her crosshair is already to be. So remember, always in a sniper duel, make them move their crosshair. If you know where they are, move, reposition your crosshair where they were. And then what ends up happening is if it's two equally skilled Widowmakers or Hanzos, or they're trying to like reposition and keep the other person guessing, and that's where like the real mechanics. But right now, she's just right there. She's not moving. So you absolutely have the opportunity here to, honestly, even without a charged shot, wall climb up here, then charge a shot and smoke her, right? You got Storm Arrow too. So what you could do is you could wall climb up here and Storm Arrow her. So even without the induction, with the induction nerf, you could still make it work. Good use of Storm Arrow. Like, even just making sure that you don't lose that 1v1 is really important. That's unfortunate you missed that. Now, if you have Sonic on a sniper, that is something that you can repeat, because that is an advantage, because you have a timing advantage, so you know exactly when to release your arrow and she doesn't know. Sonic? Yeah. I appreciate your Sonic so far. They've been quite good. I think you should be very, very proud of your Sonic so far. This is kind of like another one of those like angles where like, okay, right now it's kind of tricky for you to think of a better sightline, but honestly, like just go here or like even here. And then you could either choose to peek that Widow or not. You can kind of cut off the Widow and just focus the tank. You could then choose to duel the Widow, but you have the cover of the floor and only your head showing. And you can also avoid crap like damage orbs, you know, nades, Orisa spam. So it's only the Widow duel, right? So this is the reason why this high ground's good, right? You could either avoid the Orisa and the Ana and the Moira and only choose the Widow. Or you could avoid all of them and only focus the Orisa. Or you could take an angle and focus something else, right? Like let's say this Reaper isn't here, right? The problem with your positioning right now is like you kind of have to peek everything in at the same time. And you don't have the floor as cover, if that makes sense. Oh, you need to charge that shot. Charge a shot first. Charge a shot into the Storm Arrow. I know you're going to move a little bit slower while you do it, but charge a shot into it. I actually do think that this is a duel. This is what really takes people off about Hanzo. You don't need to be scared of this duel as long as you have Storm Arrow. So it's like, oh, it's Reaper, stay away. Actually, no. as long as you have a charged shot and Storm Arrow, you can destroy this guy. Case in point. So like that was, as long as you have Storm Arrow there, I'm totally fine with that. No way! No way! Let's go. I mean, okay, here's the funny thing. I really like the idea. You're just a tiny bit too close. This is so fresh, man. So I actually really like this. The only tip I would give you is just to back up. Be safe. Is back up just to the mega so that you get the drag. You don't miss part of the drag, because remember, it doesn't actually launch for a first little section. So you kind of see the problem here. It doesn't actually cover until here, when actually you want it to cover all this area too. So just back up a little bit before. But I think it's good. A Sonic into the dragon. The idea was good. The execution just wasn't great. The idea is killing me though. That's hilarious. That poor Ana. Right? She's not ready for this. Now you're fighting 50-50. So here's how you do this. There's two ways of looking at this. You know, actually, if you're watching this video right now, Sun Drops, or anybody watching this video, what are the ways that you can actually have an advantage in this duel? I'm gonna give you one that's dead now, sadly. One of the ways that you could do it is charge a shot, wall climb, and then drop out. So you like kind of use the charge shot as you dropped out, but that doesn't work anymore because you lose your inducted shot on the wall climb. It's a huge quality of life nerf. The other thing you could do is you could peek the wall here. I think that's what you're about to do, is not peek her, but Sonic near her. Give yourself an advantage here. But there's another way too. See if you can think of the other way to create an advantage. Oh. Use your lunge. Charge a shot, lunge to the right. Oh, she has to flicker across her, but you're already pre-aimed on where she is, right? Let's see what you do. So you're going for the conservative play, which I like. Yeah, see? Yes! Yes! Yes. Nice. Nice done. Fight dirty. It's not dirty to fight dirty. It's smart. You have an advantage, lean into that advantage. It's stupid to not fight dirty. You should only take a mechanical duel when it's truly 50-50, and you're confident that you can win it. So, again, a little detail. This is kind of like what was happening on first fight. If I'm coaching this Reinhardt, Snozy, I'm like, Snozy! You jackass, get up these stairs. Hold this choke. This is what your character is really good at. But sadly, Snozy is a jackass. But you're also you're also kind of a jackass, because really, again, it's like the first fight where like your team is kind of like playing around the sightline here, and you're just like, yo, let's go, right? There's nothing wrong inherently about this position, but there is something inherently wrong about you being in this position while your team is in this position, in which case you should be here or here or you soldier or anywhere else. I mean, honestly, we don't want you on the floor, but that's better than where you're at right now. Case in point, right? So are your supports kind of dim? Yes, your supports are kind of dim. But at the same time, you're making things unreasonably hard for them, right? This is not, let's put it this way. If you're with Grandmaster supports, they keep you alive, but they're flaming you for doing what you just did. Because a Grandmaster DPS player would have killed you, but regardless of whether you got healing or not.
Redeploying. I've got meds. Who needs them?
Huh. Nice. Good, Sonic. It's the pre-Sonic, but you didn't immediately fire it. You looked at the battlefield first, then Sonic where you wanted to go. That's fine. That's... Ooh, we're going for it. Summer Mirror, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on! Yes! Oh! No, that's unfortunate. That's okay. Good shot. Good Sonic, good Storm, take high. This is a great part of the map for Hanzo. Really, really good. Good Sonic. We back up a little bit. Nice use of Storm Arrow there. Really nice use. I like the little angle over here. This is good. Obviously, if you had the chance to take high ground, I would have liked that, but the dragon kind of zoned you out. So I think this is okay. A little bit cautious about that ult out in the open. The dragon is good. It does a really nice split, and it forces lamp. But you're kind of out in the open when you press it. You guys should kill this Orisa now. Oh, wow, no. Tragic. Nice. Good use of cover here. Good little angle you got here. As quickly as we can, we want to get out of here, though. And we should soon. If we can eventually kill this Orisa. Good use of cover. I mean, that right there is that right there is the value of cover, right? You die if you don't have cover there, right? And you miss out on whatever you're about to do here. I think my only takeaway here is that you used high ground early, and then you never really got the chance to retake an angle. Like, you never really got we ended up shooting a lot of Orisa. Now, I will agree that you guys should have killed this Orisa 17 times, trillion times over. But obviously she's really good at tanking, and I think, like, if we've had the opportunity to retake high ground or take an angle, I think it would have been great. But I actually don't think we played this one too badly on third point, and maybe we still win it. I noticed that we didn't use Sonic on walking out. No pre-Sonic. I don't know if that's something you've been really practicing, but it sure looks like you have been. I would not hesitate to storm arrow that guy way sooner. Anything that's gonna close the distance on you like that and be that spooky, just pop it. Let it go. Just totally let it go. It is your dueling tool, you know. Good Sonic. Good Storm Arrow. And the thing with, like, the Storm Arrow there is, like, okay, so maybe we could talk a little bit about your Storm Arrow mechanics. One of the common things that I used to coach way back in, like, 2019, 2018, when this stupid ability came out, is people would do what you do here. Let's slow this down to, like, 0.75. You're just button mashing. And people used to do that all the freaking time back in the day, too. Don't do that. Relax, take a couple seconds, right? It's important to dump it because that is the advantage of it, but you don't need to be firing it at maximum fire rate, because if you start missing your shots, you know, trigger discipline, right? I mean, it's something that we always talk about, feels like in almost every single hero, but there's a reason why it's important. It's not only going to improve your aim habits, it's also going to improve the amount of shots that you hit, right? Because if you want to get better at Storm Arrow, slow it down. If you want to hit more shots, slow it down. There's your opportunity right there. Now, that being said, it was a good use of the ability. Like, you needed to press it then, and it still gets the Sojourn to back off, which is what you wanted, but it would have been nice to do some damage as well. So chill. Don't worry about the Orisa as much. Keep controlling this backline. Keep controlling. I mean, look at these guys, right? You're doing a great job. Sojourn can't get the high ground. Bap has used Lamp. Ana's turning on healing the Bap. Keep it up. You can burn an Orisa, but I don't know that I would Sonic it. Like, I'm more concerned if that Sojourn, where that Sojourn is, and if I can continue to push the backline. You get what I'm saying? I mean, case in point, right? That was great. Yes, that's what we want. In terms of, like, immediately pop the ability. Don't know if I would have dropped, but she was 1 HP, so I assumed that you thought you were going to get the kill, but yeah, whatever. Nice. Hacking Hanzo, cringe. You want a real Sigma male with me? Just drop your dragon right now. Please don't do that, but it would be funny. Crosshair placement just a little off at this high ground angle here. Not something we've talked about a lot this review, but see where the crosshair is? It's like at her chest height, but obviously with the arc, it's gonna hit her like right in the belly. Yeah, see? Right in the butt cheek, actually. Sojourn now has a butt cheek with an arrow penetrating through it. But yeah, not amazing. Sonic is fine. I might have Sonic'd here because it looked like the Sojourn was going top, but I think that's fine. Do you notice how, like, much backline control you're getting here? Yeah, but I don't like this. Like, I think this is more of like a, I don't know how to describe this. Is this more of like a macro, like, strategic knowledge thing? Because, like, you zone backline right here. You're still, like, relatively healthy. Screw the Tracer, man. Like, this is gonna be a hard shot to hit. Keep these guys tied up. Do not let them rotate, because look at how scared they are. Keep it up. Don't take the foot off the gas. Don't let these guys walk forward, right? The Sojourn should still be scared of you, right? Don't turn your back on them. Don't drop to the floor. Hold the angle, hold the position. And see, now you've given up the high ground, but why? For what reason, right? Retake it. Certainly at least retake it sooner than this. Ah, oh, your mercy. What a moron. Ah, okay. Nice job. Retake top. Good dragon. Don't. I know you're thinking about dragon, but I don't care. Yeah, no. See, okay. Let's actually talk about this because this is a very common issue. All right. In overtime situations, one of the worst things that you could possibly do is doing what our Hanzo is doing here. Oh no, the fight, this is last touch, they got a touch point, let's give up all the space and all stack on cart. No, because look at what's happening while you're doing that. Because you're not on high ground, this Sojourn is allowed to rotate to cart that much easier. Because you're on high ground, you have to worry about the Sojourn shot. You have to worry about Orisa ult. You have to worry about Nano. You have to worry about Kitsune. You have to worry about anything that can be thrown on cart is going to hit you. You have to concern yourself for it. So when you're in these OT situations, yes, you might want to have somebody that can hold or touch cart. Yes, if you're on defending the cart. Or even attacking the cart, right? But not everybody should just rush and flop their bodies on cart because you give up all the high ground, you give up all the flanks, you give up all the off angles. In OT situations, it's even more important that you don't have too many people on cart, whether on attack or defense, because those are the situations when clutch positions can win the fight. Have somebody that can touch cart. Be willing to drop off of your position to touch cart if you need to. For example, if your tank touches cart and dies and somebody has to touch, yes, you have to give up the position. But your first response should be, everybody, let's just huddle like scared rabbits all on top of cart. And right now, you doing this is putting you at a disadvantage and makes you more likely to lose this. And I see this more often in lower ranks than any other rank, where everyone's in a panic to touch the cart, but why is my Hanzo here and not up here? Right? I mean, honestly, even the Sojourn ult. Why is my Sojourn ulting in front of the tank line by herself instead of either going with her supports or going up to high ground? Right? It's the overtime panic, and everybody turns the brain off when it comes to positioning. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Somebody's got to touch cart, but if it's not you, take positions. Don't rush and slap your body on top of cart. Really important mistake. Because like even there, right? Blind dragon. Totally blind dragon. You had no idea what you heard Sojourn ult and you just threw it at her. And now this fight is way more chaotic for you than it needed to be. Nice shots, though. Okay. So far, it's mostly been... Your mechanics look really bad sometimes. And I think those are like the big low-hanging fruits that need to go away. Either through more practice or a better warm-up. Like early on, like how many shots do we miss at a Winston and point blank? Like you need to pressure that guy. You can't let him just stand out in the open. Intelligence around your duels, storm arrow discipline, and the most important thing, which was good off angles, good high grounds, good cover. Maybe it's a little bit of unfamiliar with this map, but we did a good job sometimes taking high ground, but then we just jump off of it for no reason. Or we wouldn't even take it in the first place. We just stand behind our tank. I think that's something we need to work on. Mechanics at times look pretty good. Sonic arrow usage looked pretty good. The timing of our storm arrow was really quite good. Dragons were okay. Nice. Like right now, where should you be? Think about it, right? Do you want to be standing here or do you want to be standing here? What's going to give you more options and better vision, right? Again, why are you here, right? Think about it. Think about it. Look at how much easier this is. Shoot the tank even from here. Make him shoot you or your team. Don't give him AoE value. Don't give that Sojourn E AoE value. Duel this guy, right? Taking a flank here. I'm okay with this, but imagine if we took this flank from here instead. How much safer this would be, right? Good shots, though. Good use of Storm Arrow. I mean, you're getting Maywalled. That should be a red flag here. Take the high ground right to your right. Take it right here. There's your opportunity to duel the Mei. There's your opportunity to avoid the Sigma. So we're getting sucked into these tank trades really easily. And then when we do tank flanks, I respect the flank, but we're very, 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 very close to the entire enemy team, really. Like, you gotta be terrified of this. Oh my days, oh my days. I mean, it's just too up in their face with no cover, right? So you had options here. I want you to go back, and I want you to, if you're watching this video, Sundrops, I want you to pause it right here and tell me where should you be. There's at least 2 or maybe even 3 options. You tell me where. Give me a high risk, high reward. Give me a medium reward. Give me a low risk, low reward. Okay, here we go. Low risk, low reward. I would probably say something like this. I wouldn't even say low risk, low reward. I'd say like low risk, medium reward. High risk, high reward, right? Deeper angle, better cover, some high ground. Low risk, medium reward. I mean, honestly, really just a different flavor would be something along these lines over here, or playing even over here, right? Come on now. Use cover, use an angle, but not this close in the middle of nowhere, right? Scary. I really don't love that. You know what? Maybe it's gonna work. Maybe. Oh my gosh. She is literally, what is that, 2 HP? 1 HP. 1 HP. Okay. Obviously, who am I to argue its success? Oh no, the Ana. Okay. Nice. Good use of Sonic. Good use of Storm. Good try. I love that angle. See, sometimes you're thinking about your positioning. Come on, get back up top. Get back up top. Get back up top. Get back up top. There you go. Ah. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, thank you. There you go. Yes, yes, yes. Good cover, good angle, good sightline, good little bit of crossfire. You got an escape route. This is excellent. Let's see what we can do with this. Sonic is fine. Oh, little bugger. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Good try. See, you're fine. And you're still here too. That's the best part. It's like you don't even need to run away. You can keep egoing these guys. Good Sonic. That Sonic, you were like, you knew exactly where they were, so it kind of counts as a pre-Sonic, but it's just like a reasonable pre-Sonic. I would have dropped and grabbed the Mega here, and then retaken this angle here. This is silly. You should probably die for this. You probably won't, but you probably should have. And then in addition here, don't get sucked back in the mix, right? Go right back. Yes. Go right back. Come on. Yes. Sonic. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Good pressure. Sure. A little bit blind, but at least it forces us to split. I would have liked us to go back to the position that we were at. I think the sight lane is a little bit safer. Grab the Mega! No! Yeah, you just misplayed this one mechanically. You were too late to grab the Mega, you lunged out, and then you had to lunge, and so you couldn't lunge to cover, and then, yeah. Okay. You have some decent ideas with what you're doing. You're just not quite executing it quite right. You're just off, just not quite my tempo, right? But I would much prefer these fights that you've shown here than a lot of what you were doing, obviously on the attack there, right? Those were not good angles. And then honestly, for a good chunk of the defense as well. It feels like with this, while I'm, even though I'm making like, screaming and hollering or whatever, this is how you practice. This is exactly what you need to be doing. I would rather this than, like I said, what I saw the defense. Where at least here you're like testing and experimenting and going, okay, that didn't work or that did work. This is good. This is good practice. Careful here, you are by yourself, so it's okay to kind of cheek a couple of picks, but you don't want to do anything too egregious. Sonic is good. Now use that information. Take that angle. Take that left angle. No. Go back to where you were. Go back to where you were. Go right back to here with your Sonic and your Storm. Certainly now that you've got that Bastion off of high, now you go. Yeah. I mean, like I said, this map is really good for Hanzo. This map is one of the best Hanzo maps in the entire game, I would say. So you're just a little late here. I would also... I don't know that you had Storm Arrow here, so I think that's probably why you didn't pop it here. But this is definitely one of those circumstances where I induct this arrow, preferably behind cover, obviously. Then pull Sonic, shoot, and immediately go right to Storm. So you're a little slow here. And that's what kills you and basically allows the Life Weaver to survive. I think this fight was lost regardless, though. Just a little detail to point out.
60 seconds remaining.
Nice. You could Sonic whatever here. See, this is my problem with you. You're here. There are people right here. There's also the angle right here. And you could Sonic whatever you want here. But your immediate response is to go W in forward here. Right? It's not the initial angle. It's what you're doing with it that's bad. And it usually involves you pressing W directly into the middle of the enemy team. Instead of either, you know, here, or even if you wanted to play Tickle Me Elmo here and just kind of play baity to force the Ana out and then shoot the tank and then run away and grab a health. Like even that would be better than what we did. So it's very similar to what you were doing here, right? You're not confident with, you're taking these very, very brawl, super, super tight angles, which sometimes is okay, like if it was a Widow Zen, but even then you still wouldn't want to press W into them necessarily. And this is just, I mean, seriously, like look at this. This is insanity, right? It's insanity. You get the same amount of value for a lot longer and more kills, more picks, more pressure from one of these flanks here. Hanzo's flexible with his positioning, but he's not that flexible. Even that's more of a Reaper flank, if anything. And that might even be too aggressive for a Reaper, to be honest with you. Sonic Dragon. Sonic Dragon. Would definitely want to Sonic first. It's a good prediction, and I think it's gonna kill the Bastion as a result, but there's no reason not to Sonic first. Oh. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, she doesn't even get touch. Oh, that's a disaster. Okay. So obviously I want to throw any questions you have my way because you weren't able to make it, and here's what you can do as well. We'll do a replay code review as well. So if you have another game you want to send in too, and I can take a look over that one too. Basically, my main takeaways are this, and I'm not going to type these out your channel because I want you to watch the video with context first, and then please write them on your own time. Positioning is still a problem. Cover usage was better at points in time, but when you take these high ground off angles, you have the tendency to plat magnet, press WN. Look for good high ground, if possible, angles with a little bit of distance around where your team is positioned. That wasn't a problem very often, but when it was bad, it was pretty bad. So take an angle around where your team is set up, preferably with a little bit of medium range distance, and play around that. I want you to practice on making sure that you're not pressing W when you're hitting shots. It's called the plat magnet, right? We're seeing a little bit of that plat magnet. And then in terms of some of the micro, I think being a little bit more patient with our Storm Arrow, aiming our shots just a little bit between just mashing the buttons. And if I had to throw in one more detail in there, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you think. You tell me what you think with that fourth detail. There's a couple of ones, you know, fighting dirty with snipers, maybe our dragon usage. But I think like you can kind of choose there. So let me know if you have any questions. Huge improvement on the Sonic Arrow. Really, really, really nicely done. And I'll chat with you later.